Good morning, my friends. Let me ask you something. How do you begin your day? Do you wake up rushing, grabbing your phone, already feeling the pressure of the world before even stepping out of bed? Or do you start with a victory in your own mind, heart, and soul? You see, mornings are not just about waking up from sleep, they are about waking up to life. The way you begin your morning is like the steering wheel that decides the direction of your entire day. If the start is strong, the journey flows with strength. If the start is distracted, the day will be hijacked by distractions. Imagine this, just 20 minutes every morning. Not 2 hours, not 1 hour, just 20 minutes. If you can give these 20 minutes to yourself, to your soul, to God, you can turn your entire day into a victory. Because the truth is, victory is not achieved only in the outer world, it begins within us in silence, in clarity, and in alignment with the divine. And today I want to share with you how you can create your morning victory in just 20 minutes. When you wake up in the morning, the very first thoughts that cross your mind set the tone for the entire day. Most of the time, people reach out to their phones, check messages, scroll through social media, or think about the long list of tasks ahead. But let me ask you, have you ever noticed how heavy the day feels when the first thing you wake up to is stress, comparison, or worry? That's because your heart hasn't been given its nourishment yet. Just like your body needs food to remain strong, your soul needs gratitude to remain alive and light. And this is why the very first 5 minutes of your morning should be dedicated to gratitude. Gratitude is not simply saying, "Thank you." It is not just a polite response. It is a deep recognition of the unseen blessings that surround us. When your eyes open in the morning, you have been gifted another day of life. Isn't that enough to pause and smile? There are people who go to bed at night but don't see the morning. Yet here you are, breathing, alive, given another chance to love, to grow, to learn, to serve. Gratitude is the awareness that nothing is guaranteed, but everything is a gift. Think about this. If you wake up and immediately think about what you don't have, I don't have enough money, I don't have the life I want, I don't have what others have, your mind will instantly carry heaviness. But if you wake up and think, I have life, I have breath, I have a roof over my head, I have people I can care for, I have an opportunity to make today meaningful, then your heart feels lighter, your mind feels clearer, and your day begins with strength. Gratitude doesn't change what you see in life. It changes how you see life. A small example, imagine two people standing in the same garden. One says, "Look at all these thorns, how unpleasant this garden is." The other says, "Look at these roses, how beautiful this garden is." Both are correct in their observation, but the one who notices roses will carry beauty in his heart, while the one who notices thorns will carry bitterness. Gratitude is the ability to notice roses even while thorns exist. It is not blindness to problems, it is choosing to focus on what uplifts rather than what drags you down. So, in your first 5 minutes of the morning, before the world's noise enters, sit quietly and count your blessings. It may feel strange at first, but try it. Whisper softly to yourself, "Thank you, God, for this breath. Thank you for this body. Thank you for the people in my life. Thank you for the lessons of yesterday. Thank you for the opportunities of today." You will be amazed how quickly your heart warms up. There is also a deep science behind gratitude. When you express gratitude, your brain releases positive chemicals that reduce stress and create a sense of peace. It lowers anxiety and increases resilience. This is not just spirituality, this is life's practical truth. When you feel grateful, you naturally become calmer, kinder, and more focused. You stop chasing everything in desperation because gratitude turns what you already have into abundance. Let me share a daily life example. Suppose you wake up late, the traffic is heavy, and your boss is expecting you early. You can either start the day saying, "Why me? Why is everything against me?" Or you can remind yourself, "I still have a job to go to, I still have a car to sit in, I still have the health to move forward." One mindset creates frustration, the other creates calmness. The situation may be the same, but gratitude changes the way you travel through it. Many people believe that gratitude is only for good days. But the truth is, gratitude is most powerful on the difficult days. On days of struggle, gratitude reminds you that you are still standing, still breathing, still capable of fighting through. It gives you the courage to say, "Even though things are tough, I still have the strength to rise above." Gratitude is like sunlight. It doesn't remove the darkness immediately, but it slowly makes the shadows disappear. When you begin your morning with gratitude, you invite God's presence into your heart without even asking for anything. You are not saying, "Give me this, give me that." You are saying, "Thank you for what I already have." And isn't that the most powerful prayer? Because gratitude is not demanding, it is surrendering. It is the recognition that God has already given us more than we sometimes notice. Take a simple practice every morning. Keep a small notebook next to your bed. The moment you wake up, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Some days they may be big things like health or family. Other days they may be small things like a cup of tea, the morning breeze, or the comfort of your bed. But slowly, this practice will rewire your mind to look at blessings instead of burdens. It will shift your focus from lack to abundance. And when you train your mind to see abundance in the morning, you carry that abundance through the whole day. My friends, victory does not always come from achieving something big. Sometimes, victory comes from starting small but starting right. And the first 5 minutes of gratitude are exactly that. They are small, but they are powerful. If you can win these first moments, you can win the day. So tomorrow morning, before you grab your phone, before you step into the chaos, pause for just 5 minutes and count your blessings. Thank God for what you already have and see how your day transforms. Gratitude is the key to morning victory, and once you unlock it, every door of peace, joy, and strength will open for you. Silence is one of the most powerful medicines for the soul, yet in today's world, it has almost become a forgotten treasure. From the moment we wake up, the noise of life begins. Phones buzzing, alarms ringing, news channels shouting, social media notifications pouring in, and endless chatter around us. We live in a time where silence feels uncomfortable for most people because we are so used to filling every empty space with sound. But the truth is, silence is not emptiness. Silence is fullness. Silence is not a void. It is the presence of God that can only be felt when the noise of the world is turned down. When you give yourself even 5 minutes of silence in the morning, you are doing something extraordinary. You are saying, "Before I give my attention to the world, I will give it to myself. Before I listen to others, I will listen to God's whispers within me." And that simple act creates clarity, peace, and strength that no amount of external noise can provide. Think about the most beautiful places in nature: mountains, forests, lakes. Why do we feel so calm when we sit there? It is because nature speaks in silence. The rustling of leaves, the flowing of water, the soft breeze, these are not noises. They are gentle reminders of a deeper silence that lives beneath all sound. That same silence exists within you, but unless you pause, you cannot hear it. Unless you sit quietly, you cannot feel it. In daily life, most people think silence is a waste of time. They believe being productive means constantly doing, constantly speaking, constantly moving. But what happens when a phone is never put on charge? Eventually, the battery dies. The same happens to us. If we never pause, never sit still, never connect inward, our energy depletes and we go through the day restless, impatient, and tired. Silence is the charging station of the soul. It may look like you are doing nothing, but in reality, you are refilling your energy, rebuilding your strength, and reconnecting with God. Let me give you an example. Imagine you wake up and immediately rush into work. Emails, deadlines, phone calls, traffic, arguments. You are running without pause. By the end of the day, you feel exhausted, irritated, and drained. Now imagine another scenario. You wake up, sit quietly for just 5 minutes, close your eyes, and let your breath guide you into silence. You feel your thoughts slowing down, your mind becoming lighter, your heart opening up. You carry that calmness into your work. When challenges come, you respond with clarity instead of panic. The situation is the same, but the energy you bring to it is different. That is the power of silence. Silence also reveals to us the things that noise hides. When there is too much noise, we run away from ourselves. We drown out our fears, our insecurities, our doubts with distractions. But when you sit in silence, you come face to face with your true self. At first, it may feel uncomfortable because silence will show you the thoughts you usually avoid. But if you sit long enough, that same silence will heal those thoughts, calm them, and turn them into peace. Silence is like clear water. When your mind is restless, it is muddy and disturbed. But when you let it settle in silence, clarity appears naturally. There is also a spiritual beauty in silence. When you sit silently, you are actually listening to God. You are telling the divine, I am here, I am still, I am ready to hear what you wish to guide me towards. Prayer is speaking to God, but silence is allowing God to speak back. Most of us are so busy talking, asking, demanding that we forget to simply listen. Silence is that listening, and in those moments, you will notice small insights, gentle ideas, or a deep feeling of peace arise within you. That is God communicating through silence. Even in daily relationships, silence plays a sacred role. Have you noticed how two close friends or family members can sit together in silence without feeling awkward? That is because real connection doesn't always need words. Similarly, your connection with God doesn't always need constant speaking. Sometimes the deepest connection is sitting in silence, feeling the presence of the divine without words. Some may say, but I don't have time for silence. Let me remind you, silence is not about having hours. Even 5 minutes of silence in the morning is enough to change the quality of your entire day. Just sit, close your eyes, breathe, and let go of the world for a moment. Don't fight your thoughts. Don't try to control anything. Simply allow yourself to be. You will notice that those 5 minutes become the strongest anchor of your day. Silence is like sharpening your sword before the battle. If you rush into the fight without sharpening it, you struggle. But if you pause, prepare, and strengthen yourself, you enter with confidence. In the same way, silence sharpens your mind, clears your emotions, and prepares your soul for the day's challenges. My friends, don't fear silence. Don't avoid it. Embrace it. Because in silence, you will meet yourself, and in meeting yourself, you will meet God. And once you taste the sweetness of that silence, you will realize it is not empty time. It is the most valuable investment you can make. So tomorrow morning, give yourself the gift of 5 minutes of silence. No phone, no words, no distractions. Just you, your breath, and the divine presence around you. Those 5 minutes will give you a peace that lasts the entire day. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of the soul. And in that presence, you will always find strength, clarity, and victory. The words we speak to ourselves are like seeds we plant in the soil of our mind. If we plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, then naturally what will grow in our lives will be hesitation, weakness, and anxiety. But if we plant seeds of faith, strength, and positivity, then the garden of our life will blossom with courage, confidence, and peace. This is why affirmations are so powerful. Affirmations are not just empty words we repeat, they are declarations of who we choose to be. They are reminders to our mind of the strength that already exists within us, strength that comes from God. When you wake up in the morning, your mind is like soft clay. It can be shaped easily by the first thoughts you give it. If the first thoughts are of stress, comparison, or worry, that clay hardens into anxiety for the whole day. But if you give your mind affirmations, positive, life-giving, empowering words, it becomes shaped with courage and clarity. That is why spending just a few minutes every morning speaking affirmations to yourself can completely change the direction of your day. For example, when you wake up and say to yourself, I am grateful for this life. I am strong enough to handle whatever comes today. I walk with peace and purpose. Your mind absorbs those words and begins to act in alignment with them. But when you wake up and say, I am tired, I am unlucky, I can't do this, your mind also listens and begins to live according to that script. You see, whether you realize it or not, you are always affirming something to yourself. The question is, are you affirming weakness or are you affirming strength? Think about a child who is learning to walk. When the child falls down, the mother doesn't say, oh, you're so weak, you'll never walk. Instead, she encourages, she says, get up, you can do it. And the child, believing those words, tries again and again until walking becomes natural. Similarly, when you fall in life, when you face failure, challenges, or rejections, if you keep saying to yourself, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, then you will give up. But if you affirm, I can rise, I can learn, I am guided by God, and I will move forward, then just like the child, you will get up again and again until success becomes natural. Affirmations are like fuel. Without them, you may try to move forward, but you will run out of energy quickly. With them, your inner engine keeps running strong. And the beauty is, affirmations don't cost money. They don't require special training. They only require awareness. You simply need to pause and speak to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would give to a loved one. In daily life, we often encourage others but forget to encourage ourselves. If a friend feels low, we tell them, don't worry, you are capable, you'll be fine. But when we ourselves feel low, we sometimes say the harshest words, I'm useless, I'll never succeed. Why this double standard? Why give compassion to others but cruelty to ourselves? Affirmations correct this imbalance. They remind us to speak to ourselves with love, to treat ourselves as a friend, not an enemy. There is also a spiritual dimension to affirmations. When you affirm strength, peace, and purpose, you are not creating these qualities from thin air. You are acknowledging what God has already placed within you. Affirmations are like uncovering treasures that already exist in your soul. For example, saying, I am peaceful, is not a lie, It is a reminder that peace is already within you, it only needs to be awakened. Saying, I am strong, is not arrogance, it is humility because you are recognizing the strength God has gifted you. Affirmations are not about pretending, they are about remembering. Here's a simple practice. After your moment of silence in the morning, stand in front of the mirror, look into your own eyes, and speak 3 affirmations with conviction. They can be simple ones like, I am grateful for this new day. I am guided and protected by God. I am strong enough to handle whatever comes my way. At first, it may feel strange, maybe even uncomfortable. But slowly, as you repeat them daily, you will notice that your mind begins to believe them and your actions begin to follow them. Words have power, and when spoken with faith, they shape reality. Let me share a daily life example. Suppose you have an important meeting or an exam. If you keep saying to yourself, I am nervous, I will fail, I am not ready, then your performance will reflect that nervousness. But if you say, I am calm, I am prepared, I will do my best, your mind and body will align with that confidence, and you will perform with clarity. The situation may not change, but your inner state changes completely with affirmations. Even in the hardest times, affirmations serve as anchors. When life feels uncertain, repeating, I trust the process, I trust God's timing, can bring immense peace. When you feel lonely, affirming, I am never alone, God is always with me, gives comfort. These words are not empty. They are powerful because they remind you of truth. So, my friends, don't underestimate the strength of a few words spoken with conviction. Every morning, take a few minutes to plant the right seeds in your mind. Speak affirmations that uplift, strengthen, and connect you to your deeper self. Because the reality is, the world will try to pull you down with negativity throughout the day. But if you begin your morning affirming your strength, no amount of negativity can shake you. Your affirmations are your inner shield, your invisible armor. Wear it every morning, and you will walk through the day not as a victim of circumstances, but as a victor of your own mind. And when you speak to yourself with power, your life begins to reflect that power. So tomorrow, look in the mirror and remind yourself, I am grateful, I am strong, I am guided, I am enough. And watch how these simple words transform your entire day into victory. Breath is the bridge between your body and your soul. Every moment you are alive, your breath is silently working for you. You can live without food for weeks, without water for days, but without breath, not even a few minutes. Yet, most of us move through our entire day without ever paying attention to this sacred gift. We treat breathing as something mechanical, automatic, not realizing that hidden within it is the power to calm the mind, energize the body, and awaken the soul. That is why giving even a few minutes in the morning to your breath and body can completely transform how you experience the rest of the day. When you wake up, your body is like a sleeping instrument. It has the potential to play the most beautiful music of energy, vitality, and strength, but it needs tuning. Just as a musician never begins playing without tuning his instrument, we too should not begin our day without tuning our body and breath. A few minutes of mindful breathing, gentle stretching, or simply moving with awareness awakens not only the muscles, but also the inner life force that runs through us. Close your eyes for a moment and take one deep breath. Feel how it enters your lungs, how it nourishes your body with oxygen, how it slowly leaves, carrying away stress and tiredness. Even one conscious breath can make you feel lighter, calmer, more alive. Imagine the power of 5 minutes spent with awareness of breath. You begin to notice that your breath is not just air, it is life itself. It is God's invisible gift, the constant reminder that you are alive. Many people rush into their mornings like they are already late for a race. They grab their phones, rush into the shower, run out of the door, all while holding tension in their shoulders, stiffness in their body, and restlessness in their mind. And then they wonder why they feel drained by the afternoon. The truth is, if you don't awaken your body properly in the morning, you carry the heaviness of sleep into your entire day. But if you take a few minutes to stretch your body, move your muscles, and breathe deeply, you gift yourself energy that lasts for hours. Think of your body as a house. If the windows are closed, no fresh air comes in, and the house feels suffocated. But if you open the windows, suddenly light and air flow in, refreshing the whole space. Your breath is like opening those windows. When you breathe deeply and consciously, you open the channels of energy inside your body, allowing freshness and vitality to flow. When you move your body gently, stretching your arms, bending, or simply walking slowly, you wake up every cell with new life. A simple practice can be this. As soon as you wake up, sit comfortably, place your hand on your chest, and take 5 slow breaths. With every inhale, say to yourself, I am alive. With every exhale, say, I am grateful. This not only fills your body with oxygen, but also fills your heart with joy. Then stand up. Stretch your arms towards the sky, bend forward, rotate your shoulders, move your neck gently. These simple movements don't just loosen your body, they loosen your mind from stiffness too. There is also a deep connection between breath and emotions. Have you noticed that when you are angry, your breath becomes fast and shallow? When you are anxious, your breath becomes restless. And when you are peaceful, your breath naturally becomes slow and deep. This shows that by changing the way we breathe, we can change the way we feel. So, starting your morning with mindful breathing is like setting the emotional temperature for your entire day. You are telling yourself, today I choose calmness. Today I choose balance. In daily life, so many of our problems come from disconnection with our own body. We sit for long hours without moving, we forget to take deep breaths, and we live more in our thoughts than in our physical being. Over time, this creates fatigue, stress, and even illness. But giving just a few minutes every morning to awaken your body and connect with your breath can prevent so much of this suffering. It is like giving oil to a machine. If you maintain it daily, it runs smoothly. If you ignore it, it breaks down. Let me share a simple example. Imagine 2 people start their day. The first one jumps out of bed, skips any moment of breathing or stretching, rushes to work, and spends the day tired and restless. The second one spends just 5 minutes breathing deeply, stretching his body, and connecting with the present moment. Throughout the day, the second person feels lighter, more focused, less stressed, while the first one feels drained and easily irritated. The difference is not in the hours. They both had the same 24 hours, but in how they started. Spiritually, breath is seen as the thread that connects us to the divine. In many traditions, the breath is called the life force, the sacred current through which God keeps us alive. By honoring your breath every morning, you are not just exercising, you are remembering the divine gift of life itself. You are saying, thank you for this breath, I will not waste it, I will live today with awareness. That simple remembrance transforms breathing from a mechanical act into a spiritual practice. So, my friends, don't underestimate the power of these few minutes in the morning. Don't think, what difference will 5 minutes of breathing and stretching make. Because those 5 minutes are like lighting a lamp in a dark room. It may be small, but it changes everything. Your body feels lighter, your mind feels calmer, and your soul feels more connected. Tomorrow, when you wake up, before rushing into the world, pause. Place your hand on your heart, breathe deeply, stretch your body, and remind yourself, I am alive, I am grateful, I am ready. Carry that freshness into your day, and you will see that challenges feel easier, opportunities look brighter, and your heart feels stronger. Breath and body awakening is not just exercise. It is the art of honoring life, the art of beginning your day with victory.